Welcome to the Awakening Teen Camp podcast. I am Zach Hensley. This is Carrie Hensley and Caleb Culver. And like we said in the last video, we were going to bring Caleb on to talk about the Music Academy, where we have literally hundreds of musicians and singers from all around the world come to get trained specifically as worship leaders, as prophetic singers, ones that are actually carrying God's heart and translating that into song. But talk a little bit about the Music Academy and what that is and what they do.
Yeah, well, we do three things at the Music Academy. One, we have just practical hands-on training on your instrument. You'll have a workshop instructor. So when you come, you'll receive training if you play guitar, if you play strings, if whatever instrument, or if you sing, you'll have just practical training on your instrument that'll help you in the context of your worship team. And we have theological training where we'll go through the scriptures and talk about worship, and we'll talk about what the scripture says about being a musician and being a singer. And then what makes the Music Academy cool is we actually run a prayer room alongside the camp. And so if you come, you actually get to lead worship, play, and sing for a couple hours a week. Then you'll have an instructor that'll help you and walk you through the model we use for playing and singing. And so the camp is broken down into those three areas, but the difference with ATC Music Academy is just the bent on being a prophetic musician and a singer and prophesying on your instrument. There's a scripture in the Old Testament that Elisha is going before the king of Israel, and he doesn't know what to say. He hasn't really heard the Lord yet, and so he says, "Bring me a musician." And the scripture says, when the musician began to play, the spirit of prophecy came upon Elisha, and he prophesied. And that's what we believe prophetic music does, is it stirs up a prophetic spirit in the musician and the singer, but it also breaks off chains off those who are listening of oppression. It brings an atmosphere that light and truth can go forth. And so we're committed to going after prophetic musicianship and the new song that'll break things open in the heavens and change things where you're leading worship, whether it's in front of 3 people or 300 back at your church or house of prayer.
Well, you have a group of people that you run with throughout the entire summer, and this is the Worship and Prayer Intensive is something that Caleb also directs, running alongside ATC. So give us a little bit about what your goal is for Worship and Prayer and kind of what it is.
Yeah, we have something that we created because, we had a lot of people that were coming to the Music Academy who are experienced and gifted musicians that were just wanting more training and to have the ability to go deeper, both in their musicianship and just in the Word and what it says about musicianship. And so we created this program last year called WPI, Worship and Prayer Intensive. And it's a 6-week training that is similar to the Music Academy as far as you have the hands-on training and the biblical training, but we just have the ability over 6 weeks to go somewhere in the Lord with each other. It's really just a time to set ourselves apart and become consecrated. It was really created if you are an experienced musician, if you've been doing it for a few years, if you have been serving at a house of prayer on your worship team, and you feel like you are a prophetic musician or a singer. You feel like you've heard the messages and it's burning on your heart, and you want to be one who prophesies with your instrument and with your voice, and you want to write songs that'll shape history and sing the song that Jesus returns to, that new song. If that's you and your heart's burning, I want to encourage you to apply to that. It's limited as far as the numbers. We keep it small so that we can do hands-on discipleship and we can go deep. But we take about 30 musicians and singers, and so if your heart's burning to do that, I want to encourage you to apply for that.
Now, if they want to be a part of the Music Academy or WPI, where do they go? How do they sign up? You
can go to atc.org. Is that it?
It's ihop.org.
ihop.org ATC. Thanks. Awesome. So ihop.org/ATC, and there's a sign up for WPI. And then if you do WPI, there's a little bit more you have to do other than the online. There's just some demos and different things we have to do, but if you're doing the Music Academy, everything's right there online for you to do.
Great, so they can find that information on ihop.org/ATC. And what is the age range that you take for both?
The age range is 13 to 18 years old.
Great.
Sweet.
Yes, it is.
Well, we'll see you later.